Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for this is your April bonus reading. I can never get that right, but we are gonna just jump right in here and see what's going on for you. You have 3 cards here actually that wanted to come out. So you have this voice card. It says using your voice could be very lucrative for you. Some of you I feel are already using your voice for money. Maybe you have a YouTube channel, podcast, whatever. But I think some of you are thinking about it. I would definitely do it. You have this card here that says entertainer. It says your charm and influence will help you get ahead. And then you have this settling card that says your soul is telling you you're on the wrong path. So I don't think you're on the wrong path necessarily. I just feel like you want to maybe use your voice again to increase your income or to start a job or a business or whatever it is you want to do here. Some of you, this could just be for fun as well. It's like maybe you want to write a book, or maybe you just want to, start a hobby where you share your voice. That could be anything. Could be like singing or, doing poetry or something like that. And I feel like it's going to be very, very important for you to do that. I also feel that there's something here about, I keep getting the word sharing popping into my head. And here you go, 3 of Cups, which would be sharing, community, working together with other people. But I feel this is more about kind of like how you work. And for some of you, I feel like it's about like giving up a little bit of control here. And so some of you might, like, especially for those of you that have a business, you could be needing to let go of some control so that you can be more successful, or so that you can, have something that you want and desire to have in your life. And, again, this could be about like freeing up time and just being more efficient. You have the 3 of Wands. So again, if you've been thinking about using your voice or becoming an entertainer in some way, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be successful. I love this reading. Very good. You have the Emperor and the Empress showing up here as well. So, and not only that, you have the Hierophant and the High Priestess. So if you're attracting love, you could be attracting like the ultimate divine counterpart, because, you have both divine counterparts here. Very like spiritual, strong connection, but just a good connection in general. Definitely could be a Taurus. You always get Taurus. Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo stand out to me here just in general. So, it could be any sign, but what I would say is that there could be like a divine counterpart coming in for you. It's only a matter of time. You have the Wheel of Fortune here, and for whatever reason, I feel like that Wheel of Fortune is kind of like saying, is like waiting. So if you've been waiting for love or a connection, I feel like it's coming. It's just like a matter of time here. For others, again, I feel like this is about taking some sort of bigger risk. I also feel like this is talking about just like that, like one little bit extra. It's like, I don't really know. I don't have a good example for you here, Leo, but it's like if you've ever watched, any of those shows like American Idol or something like that, right? There's like a big difference. I always wonder, like some of the singers who are good singers on those shows, it's like some of them are good, but it's like they're not famous good. And, so they're not famous yet because they're not famous good. Like there's actually like kind of like a gap here, right? Where it's like a singer can be good, but they're not maybe as good as a singer who's famous, right? And I think that gap is very small. It might just be hours more of training. It might just be, learning the ins and outs of the industry, so they just know how to sing better or something. I don't know, right? Kind of reminds me of that book. There's a book called The Slight Edge, and it's all about like that little bit of a gap that, people who are kind of successful versus people who are super successful. It's like only this much, right? And, I don't want to babble on about this any longer. Sorry. I don't want to waste your time, Leo, but what I would say is that I feel like that's what this 3 of Wands is talking about. 3 of Wands is a card of expansion, and it's almost like there's just like a little bit of space that you have to fill, and you have to get that like slight edge, like the book, The Slight Edge. Maybe you want to read that book, because it could be something that could help you. And again, without knowing what you do, I can't tell you what it is, but again, I would say that education is probably one of the best ways to get the slight edge, teaching yourself, obviously, new skills, learning the ins and outs of the industry that you want to improve upon. Like all that stuff would kind of really make the difference here, is what I would say to you. You have the Emperor here. The Emperor is about taking action, but I also feel this could be a person. Doesn't matter. It could be either, could be whatever gender you're attracted to here. Even if you don't want love, by the way, I just love that you have these 2 and these 2. Because, to me, even if you don't want love, and even if you do, having those cards can represent combining the energies of the 2 cards. It's like saying, that you are combining the energy of the Emperor and the Empress to create abundance. It's like you're working together with yourself, if that makes sense. You have the High Priestess. Some of you could be getting married for sure. I do see marriage in your future if you want it. I also feel a lot of you learning, educating yourself is probably going to be like the best thing that you could be doing here to really improve your situation, in business and work and your love life, whatever. So I would definitely be educating yourself as much as you possibly can. I feel like I always say this to you, but really, I'd say based off the astrology, education is where it's at. With the Three of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, you're going to have to, look into some mysteries. Knight of Wands, he normally has these 3 pyramids behind him on the card, and the 3 pyramids represent mysteries. It's like he has to learn how to build, and he has to learn how to figure things out, and he has to be spontaneous and go on random adventures, and that's exactly what I would do. I feel like I say that to you all the time. With the Emperor, you have the Emperor. So basically, the universe saying I meant what I said. I've never had a set of readings where I've had so many repeating cards. It's crazy. With the Hierophant, you have 2 cards, the 4 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. Some of you definitely could be getting married or meeting a person that you will be committed to for sure. I definitely see that in this reading. For some of you, this could be a reunion as well. I don't think this is a past person, but I do feel that it could be a past life person. So some of you could be like a very strong connection where you just recognize this person. Obviously, you have both sets of divine counterparts, the best ones. So like I said, I don't think I've had a reading like this ever where both show up like this. So definitely could be something like that. I would also say that, you have the 3 of Cups here, and you have the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands is a card of commitment. 3 of Cups is a card of teamwork, can be a card of teamwork. So if you're trying to build something in your life, I do feel that, again, working together with other people, obviously, as I always say, teamwork makes the dream work, and, I'd be working together with other people. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this evil eye card. It says, protect yourself. There are several ways to protect yourself from the evil eye. You can burn a candle, make an herbal bath, or wear an amulet to protect yourself from any danger that comes your way. I would definitely, I think protecting yourself is always a good idea, number one. Number two, what I would say here is that, I feel like some of you, it's like you've learned something here, is what I'm getting. You have the 6 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and 3 Cups. Don't doubt yourself here, Leo. I don't know why that's popping into my head, but I feel like you've learned that like you can't trust certain people, and again, I would trust your intuition when it comes to people. Even when we go this way here, you go down to the High Priestess. So I feel like you need to trust that feeling that you get where you just don't trust a person. I used to work at a place where we had this guy who started working there, and I never liked him. And people were always like, why don't you like this guy, right? And I just didn't trust him, right? And at the end of his time there, he ended up stealing a bunch of equipment, and he gave a person that used to come in a bunch of free equipment, and he stole it, and it was this whole thing. So it's I never trusted this guy. Everybody loved this guy. They're like, why don't you like him? He's the best guy ever. I'm like, I don't know, I just don't like him, right? And who is right? Me. So don't be wrong, be right. I feel like this is saying, some of you could be having a moment like that where you don't trust a person, and there could be a very good reason for it. And so I don't know, that's what's popping into my head. There you go. You have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like there's some sort of turnaround that could be coming in for you here. Very lucky reading. Obviously Emperor, Empress. You have the Star going this direction as well, so I feel like luck is kind of turning in your favor. You have the 3 of Cups, which is some sort of celebration. So I do feel there could be a celebration coming in for you. If you're trying to get pregnant, by the way, number one, if you're not, I would be careful, but this could be pregnancy going towards the Empress as well. So, that could be what you're celebrating. You could just be pregnant with an idea, a plan, and that could also be leading to this celebration. Let's see. With the 6 of Swords, you have the 5 of Wands, conflict and competition. It's I'm wondering if someone is secretly your competition, or maybe someone is secretly trying to get information or ideas from you. I feel like for some of you, it's again, there could be a person who's trying to learn from you. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But it's maybe they're trying to get into your inner circle or whatever so they can learn from you and steal your ideas. And so I would just be careful because, again, I don't like delivering messages like this, but I feel like you should be aware, right? And I feel like you'll have a feeling. I feel like you need to trust the feeling that someone's trying to get into your inner circle. And it's almost maybe, I don't think anything bad will happen, but it's one of those moments where maybe you just feel cheated because maybe someone, works for you or comes and learns from you about your business, and maybe they leave and steal a bunch of your ideas. And it's like maybe they don't steal it, but maybe you just feel cheated out of something. They like, I kind of have that feeling of someone acting like, your information is their information. I don't know, weird message, but take it how it resonates. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ten of Pentacles, a lot of success coming in for you. If you're attracting love, Ten of Pentacles is the best love card in the deck. It's like everything you want and desire from a connection. So I feel like there's a very deep connection coming in for you here. With the Three of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. Also, are you kidding? Divine counterparts, again, King of Wands, Queen of Wands. So I feel there is clearly a very amazing connection coming in for you here, Leo. Looks pretty good. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this Father in the future. It says, when you have moved on, you're a starseed, innovator, pioneer. You're awakening into higher dimensions. Yes, this could be that like slight edge that I was talking about here, Leo, where it's like you're gaining just a little bit something extra. But I think the important thing here is like that little bit extra is actually like this much. It's, it has a much bigger impact than you realize, is what I would say here. Again, I don't really have any good examples. It's like, it's kind of funny because I'll just tell you like about YouTube, it's like a lot of people out there say like you don't need an expensive camera or anything like that for YouTube, which is totally true. It's like this camera right here is like 1,000 times better than the first camera I started with, right, on the phone. But when I bought an expensive camera, I could just barely afford it, right? But I wanted it, and that's like when I got it, it's like that's when this channel like really started to improve. I'm not saying it was the camera that did that, but like maybe did it give me the slight edge? Maybe, So it's like one of those things where I feel like it's like something that maybe doesn't seem important actually could be much more important. And again, I always say I kind of disagree with those people that say like a camera isn't important. Is it as important as just putting out videos? Hell no. Are there other things that are way more important like audio? Hell yes. But what I would say is it is an important aspect. It is something that could give you just a little bit extra, right? And so I kind of feel that here in this reading, where it's like there are small things that you could do that have a big impact, that in business, in love, in work, whatever it is you're trying to improve. And I feel like you need to look for those things. You have the Star, the Empress, and the Four of Pentacles here. So there's definitely something you've been wishing for with the Star card. I do feel you're going through a recovery period as well. I feel like the past few years have been just one long period of recovery. And you're just, I kind of feel like this is just improvements, or you're creating improvements in your life. So I do like that. I feel like there are improvements coming in for you. I also feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in for you here with the Star card. So that's nice. You have the Empress. The Empress, of course, is a card of abundance and success. I feel like you're creating a lot of abundance in your life, or you are doing things to be more abundant. So I like to see that. I also think that, she just has to wave her scepter here to grow that wheat in front of her. And so for a lot of you, I feel like you just need to grow some wheat, or you just need to, again, small action, right? She just has to wave that and the wheat grows. It's like there's something here about like small actions that lead to big results. And, again, without knowing your situation, I can't tell you what it is. I think you just have to do your research to figure out what these small actions are. You have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, holding on too tightly to the past. Every single reading I do for you has something about leaving a comfort zone. So, I feel like leaving things behind would be a good idea, or trying new things at least. With the Star card, you have the Page of Wands. A lot of Wands energy, which is nice. It could be attracting another fire sign as well, or a person who has a lot of fire in their chart. But I would also say it could be getting ready to go on a new adventure. It's like on this Star card, she's kind of like in the pool and she's healing. And then with the Page of Wands, it's almost as if you could be getting out of a period of healing, resting, relaxing, recovering. And it's like you're finally, getting moving towards something. With the Empress, you have the Three of Pentacles here. Another card of teamwork, and again, it's funny that the Three of Pentacles, there's a fire triangle normally on the top, there's a water triangle right below the fire triangle on a Three of Pentacles, and that water triangle kind of represents a little bit extra. It kind of represents doing just a little bit extra in work or business or something that you're trying to accomplish. And so again, that like slight edge, just like that little bit extra could be very beneficial for you this week. Or this month, I should say, obviously. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Cups, Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you. Definitely a good love reading. I mean, there's no way around it, right? So if you want love, definitely love. If you don't want love, and even if you do, you have the Knight of Cups and the Star. The Knight of Cups can represent a dream. He's normally looking into that cup, dreaming of his future life, but there's normally water flowing in front of him, and he's standing in the desert. So it kind of represents the fact that he thinks he's somewhere where there's no way that anything could grow, but there's water. So even if you feel like you don't have the resources to do something, I would try it anyway, because you actually probably do have the resource. It's kind of like a clue for that. Finally, in the area of the good stuff, this is going to represent good stuff no matter what. You have this koi fish spirit. It says you're manifesting more love, prosperity, and wealth into your life. There you go. So you're clearly manifesting things. Again, koi fish spirit, in any of any of these other decks that I have that have fish spirit in it, it's like I always look at the fish spirit as those small wins, needing to kind of have those tiny little wins that add up over time. And again, that's a big part of the Slight Edge, that book that I was telling you about, by the way. So again, I think that creating more small wins in your life is going to be, lead to a lot more success. Again, it's like I always say it's like one of the one things that really, changed my life significantly. I attribute 1% improvements, small wins basically, to be the thing that really grew this channel, for example, but also improved many other areas of my life as well. So that's what I would be doing. I also feel it's a very lucky time for you. You have the King of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the High Priestess. For some of you, again, this is the good stuff, so it's going to be good no matter what, but this is the only card in the tarot, the Eight of Cups, that has an eclipse on it. We do have an eclipse on the 19th or 20th, depending on where you are in the world, this month. So for a lot of you, you could notice a significant change around the time of the eclipse. Even though we have a Mercury retrograde, you could still notice a change at that time, and I feel like you're walking towards fulfillment. I do feel you need to trust your intuition. I feel like all the readings, I feel like recently, right? Am I wrong? I think recently I've been talking a lot about your intuition. I feel like you're super intuitive at this time, and I really feel like you need to trust that intuition. It's like you're getting signs, symbols, messages, like all those things are popping into my head with her, the High Priestess, and so I feel like you need to trust your intuition. You also have the King of Wands, which I feel is just you. I feel like you're coming up in a strong position here. I think this is kind of like putting you in a position of power and strength, leading to a lot of success. I also feel like you're kind of like taking bigger risks, which is, bigger risks sometimes have bigger rewards. Obviously I wouldn't put yourself in dangerous situations at this time, but I would say that if you're taking like calculated risks, or if you've been learning a lot, that there could be a lot of abundance for you there. With the King of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles. We were talking all about resources. We were talking all about being resourceful as well. I think on the Knight of Cups, right? And the Knight of Cups saying you actually have the resources when you think you don't. Also could be attracting an earth sign for sure. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups. Again, it is crazy to me. Every single sign. I'm almost at the end. I only have one more reading to do. I've never had like a set of readings where everyone has had repeating cards like this. It's crazy to me. And I mean repeating cards on top of each other. Like this. Emperor, Emperor, Eight of Cups, Eight of Cups. So basically the universe saying I meant what I said. But I really feel you're walking towards major fulfillment. With the High Priestess, you have the Nine of Pentacles here, so very independent energy. I feel like you are very independent. I feel like saying that a lot of things are being proven to you as well. And what I mean by that is I feel like the universe is kind of like saying, hey, you're going in the right direction, or it's like you feel more confident to me with this Nine of Pentacles. She's very capable. She has the grapes behind her, and the grapes in the tarot represent something that's difficult to grow, and so she has like the skills to grow something that's very difficult to grow. And I feel like your confidence is being improved here, especially in like work or business or whatever it is you do for a living. Or even if you don't, it could just be, confidence in some other area of your life that's improving. So that's that. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this child card. Yes, I said something about a baby with the Empress. If you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful. Obviously, if you are, then go for it. The other thing that I would say is, for whatever reason, well, I think it's Uranus and Taurus, honestly, but what I would say is I think that if we're going to work on something right now, we have to work on it like it's a baby. King of Wands. I always say the King of Wands, he really, really nurtures things into existence. If he's starting a business, he really, really takes care of it. If it's a relationship, he really takes care of it. So I feel like treating things as if they are a baby, like really nurturing things at this time, is going to be very important for you. And again, that could be Uranus and Taurus. You have this constancy card. Everyone's had this card. Again, pretty crazy. This is a card of constant, something being stable in your life. And yeah, I mean, I think in times like we're in right now, whether there's a recession or not, who cares? Whatever's going on is going on, right? I think people look for security, So I kind of feel like that's why this card has come up so much for people, is because I think people are looking for safety, security, comfort, protection, all those things. And you could be looking for this in people. You could be looking for this in, jobs or whatever it is that you're doing. Next, you have this thought card. I feel like you've been doing a lot of thinking. I would definitely be careful of overthinking at this time. I think it would be a better time for you to learn by doing, especially with that Ten of Pentacles. I think something people don't realize about the Ten of Pentacles is, it's like the Tree of Life. It's a card of success, abundance, good things. But it's a card of learning. It's a card of hidden secret information, but we have to learn by doing, and I kind of get that energy here on this card. Next, you have this young woman card. Some of you could be dealing with a younger woman. I always clarify these people cards. You have this falseness card. I would be careful of, we talked about this, anything you don't trust, right? I feel like you're not going to trust this situation. It's going to be like a situation like I had. It could be in work where you don't trust a person, or you're just like not sure how you feel about a person. You need to trust your intuition. Your intuition is telling you something for a reason. And finally here, you have the sorrow card. Again, I would be careful of a person where there could be a loss. For some of you, I feel like you're pulling yourself out of a loss here. You have this, or you need to pull yourself out of a loss. Like if you experience a loss in a relationship or whatever, I feel like that Eight of Cups is saying it's time to move forward. But overall, really good reading here, Leo. I love where this is going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.